guys see in the role of digital PR and in the role of, so we've got news releases, we've got social updates, we've got multimedia content. What other tactics are people using with digital media outlets? One of the things that we talked a little bit about just briefly was the role of op-eds. And being able, one of the nice things that digital platforms allow companies to do is actually build their own brands and build your reputation. You guys know your reputation is completely relevant. How people judge you is what they see in Google, right? We just had that from with media leaders with their new platform. So how are you leveraging digital platforms to increase your company's visibilities outside of press releases and content? Are there other things that you're doing, or are there very interesting things you're doing with those tactics?
Outside of press releases and content?
Yeah, and outside of video, and like, are there other things, you know, you talked about reputation building, are you doing op-eds, are you writing white papers, like, are you finding other types of content to be useful in digital, or successful?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this counts as digital, but it's online, so, and it has to do with creating content, but really, a lot of brands are creating influencer programs where they'll have influencers create content for them and then become like a third-party brand ambassador. So, if you guys, is everyone familiar with Press Juicery? Well, they're like a really popular organic juice company, and they actually created this really cool magazine, online magazine called Chalkboard Mag, and they have guest editors every month. Different people from celebrities to yoga teachers to nutritionists to doctors, etc. So they're building this like pool of ambassadors that are helping them tell their story, and they are creating content, but it's just a new way of.
It's great. So it's really focusing on user-generated content, getting the third party to create the content, but building the platform that content's being hosted in.
Exactly.
That's brilliant. We're going to open this up, by the way, to the audience in about 5 minutes for Q&A. So you're going to have to speak up, or else.
You know, I fight a struggle. I got to tell you, again, on winning, losing. I'm a word guy. I like writing. I spend my life becoming a good writer. I can write a great news release. We have the Long Beach Grand Cru, a wine festival, and Christina, who's on my staff, just wrote a headline, and it says, "Stop the presses." We had to say stop the wine presses because presses sounded old. Stop the wine presses. Wisconsin wine beats all California and global wines for first in competition. That was kind of like a, that was a, man bites dog kind of headline, which was fun. We're now looking at the right photo to put out with that release and to get some kind of level of engagement. It has to be active. It has to get someone that is, so much writing is flat and staid. And honestly, I guess the one suggestion that has taken off is we have a client called Universal Electronics. They make remote controls. Almost 100% of you in this room, when you get your Time Warner cable, dish, DirecTV remote control and change the channel, it's made by Universal Electronics. It's something we take for granted. We're getting them to build an entirely new demo room to demonstrate how this all works, what the magic is in the remote control, and we'll be taking out, I think it's a great video opportunity because in everyone's home there's device overload the way you get media overload, right? How do you switch from your DVD, from your Blu-ray, from your Xbox to your television to whatever, my Kindle Fire? So one-touch controls future and demonstrating that. So video is creating a visual that captures that is what we're doing.
I just thought of another tactic that I wanted to add that we haven't talked about yet. So something else which has been really popular in the social media world is Twitter chats or Twitter parties. And
how many of you guys are using Twitter chats currently with your business? Oh yeah.
So a lot of times you can pair up your Twitter chat with an influencer and leverage the reach that they're getting. But this is a really great way that isn't a press release. It isn't necessary. You are creating content still, but it's a great way of amplifying messaging. again, to your target audience. And
walk us through how you created your Twitter chat. I haven't done that.
Okay, so a Twitter chat it's almost like, if you remember like the AOL chat rooms back in the day, it's like that on Twitter. So how they work is you can search by hashtag on Twitter, so you designate a topic. So say it's like social media leaders, for example, and you set a time, you set what you're going to talk about, just like how it's almost like this panel, except it would all be run on Twitter with 140 character messages. So there's usually a moderator that's asking the questions, and then different people respond, and the Twitter world participates, and you invite people through email, through PR, through your various different, you can even call someone, tell them, let them know, just like how you would any other event.
You can do a news release.
Yeah,
just saying.
What's the most successful Twitter chat that you've got?
Oh, can I answer this? My favorite, literally the best one I ever did was with Paula Deen. Paula Deen talking about Philadelphia cream cheese. And one of the greatest moments after was at the end, somebody said, Paula, show us what you look like. And Paula puts up a photo of her, no makeup, sitting at her laptop in her bathrobe with a kerchief on her head. And that was Paula answering her questions. Twitter chats are pretty easy to do. It's basically, one of the nice things about it is you can ask the questions in advance, and then you as the company respondent, you pre-write your answers. It's best done if you have a second person monitoring, who works for you also monitoring, so you can know which questions. It's like an AMA, but a little bit gentler.
Yeah, we just did one actually this week. So Spread sponsored, I don't know if you guys saw the new show on Fox called Knock Knock Live, Ryan Seacrest. Sprint was a sponsor of that, and we were on the premiere episode on Tuesday. So we actually worked with a group of influencers, bloggers, to do a Twitter chat, and it was we created a hashtag, a designated hashtag, we set up a time, a day, a time, just for them to talk about what they saw on the show, and it was really successful, a lot of participation. You can also do this, I was going to say, on Google Hangout, so it's similar to Google Hangout, people do it on video as well.